This hike of a bit over 5 miles took us up Placerita Canyon to Walker Ranch, and then up a side canyon, Los Pinetos, to a waterfall. The hike began at the Placerita Canyon Park Nature Center. Part of this hike we'd been on before, but it was quite some time back. And in the Nature Center parking lot, we ran across this lady with her hawk waiting for a busload of school kids to show up for a nature program. But then it was time to get started on up the trail, as Dale is doing here. And this is a quite nice, well-maintained trail, starting on up Placerita Canyon. And along the slopes on the sides of the canyon, we found some wildflowers still in bloom. And all of this, of course, adds to the beauty of this very nice canyon. And then Jack stops for a minute along the trail to take a look back. And following us along, going up the canyon, is this small creek. In places, things open up quite a bit, so we can take a look around. Along with some more wildflowers. This trail continues on at a fairly moderate grade as we work our way up the canyon. At one point, we run across this rather oily-looking stuff bubbling up from underground. This is something not too unusual to find in oil-producing areas. And then we start finding things getting to look a little bit more like the woods. And that's because we're approaching the Walker Ranch area. And here the terrain really starts to flatten out. The area is no longer a ranch, but is now a campground. Along with camping facilities and picnic tables. And this is where we branch off into Los Pinetos Canyon on our way up to the falls. We start off going up these series of steps, starting up into Los Pinetos Canyon. Then the trail levels out a little bit as we work our way along it. The trail sort of hangs along the side hill with a small stream alongside it. In a couple of spots, we have to do a little climbing among the boulders in the stream bed. And Dale, of course, made it up there with no problem. And then things narrowed down quite a bit as we approached the waterfall area. And here Dale and some other hikers approached the waterfall. This certainly isn't what you'd call a major waterfall, but it is kind of pretty to look at. Not a great deal of water, but it's got a pretty good drop. There were a few hardy souls that worked their way up to the top of the falls along the side hill, but we decided to enjoy it from the bottom. But then it was time to start backtracking and follow these folks back on out of the canyon. And here Dale works his way back out along the trail. Things start to open up again as we get back towards Walker Ranch. And then another look around as we head back down Placerita Canyon to the Nature Center.